The king appointed for them a daily ration from the king's choice food and from the wine which he drank, and appointed that they should be educated 3 years, at the end of which they were to enter the king's personal service. Now among them from the sons of Judah were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Verse 7, then the commander of the officials assigned new names to them, and to Daniel he assigned the name Belteshazzar, to Hananiah Shadrach, and to Mishael Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. Now, what's interesting about this is not only are they immersed in the culture, the language, but now their names are changed. And names have meaning in the Bible. And I want to show you the names of Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah and what they actually mean. If you look up on the screen, you can see the meanings of their names. Daniel, God is my judge. Hananiah, God has favored. Mishael, who is what God is? It's in the form of a question. And Azariah, whom Jehovah helps. I mean, names are significant because they would point to some characteristic of that individual, or the mother or father wanted that to be exemplified in their life. And so names have meanings. But look at what their Babylonian names mean. Take another look at the screen. It says this, Belteshazzar. Daniel's now named Belteshazzar. Bel protects his life, or the Prince of Bel. That's the main god. And think about this. You're now going about and people are calling you the name of a pagan god that you don't believe in, but that's what they're calling you, okay? Shadrach, command of Aku, the moon god. Meshach, who is what Aku is. And Abednego, servant of Nego or Nebo, the god of science and literature. So, in fact, a person's name was a big deal. And so this had a sort of a psychological effect on Daniel and his friends. But what really matters is this, and that is while names matter, we're going to see that names matter in the final end days of Earth's history. And you're going to see that there will just be two types of people in the world. People that take the name of God on their forehead, or people that take the name and number or mark of the beast. Now, I want to show you this. In Revelation 14, verse 1, it says this. It says this, then I looked and behold, the Lamb was standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his name and the name of his Father written on their forehead. Now, I don't know about you, but I want the name of the Lamb and the Father written on my forehead, because it's important to understand this. Now, some people will say, I know what the name of God is, and I'll just show you this slide right here coming up on the screen. These are common names that are found in the Bible of God the Father. You see Alpha, Omega, Abba, Father, Ancient of Days, Anointed One, all the way down to Jesus Christ, Emmanuel. I just want to say this, that none of those names, while they're all true and accurate, that is not the name that's written on the forehead of the 144,000, which is a global spiritual number. And we'll unpack that when we get there. There's a unique name that God will give, and it's found in the Bible. And we're going to unpack that because that name is at the heart of the gospel. Okay? And it's in contrast with the name and number and those who take the name and number and mark of the beast. Okay? Because that will be an attack on the gospel. And look at just a couple verses up from Revelation 14, verse 1. Look at Revelation 13, the last couple verses in verses 16 through 18, and pick it up in verse 17. Now, we're going to unpack this when we get to Revelation 13 in this study. But do you see verse 17? It says, and he provides, this is the earth beast, and he provides that no one will be able to buy or sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name. And then in verse 18, it talks about, let him understand, calculate the number of beast, it's 666. Now, all I want to do is this and introduce this concept to you, that there's a contrast between the name of God and between the name and mark and number of the beast. Now, a lot of people think that people will be going around on their foreheads with the literal numbers 666 on their foreheads. And I just want to dispel that myth or that legend or whatever you want to call it, because it's not scriptural. That would be a misapplication of the literal versus the spiritual. We're going to unpack the spiritual meaning of 666. We're going to unpack the spiritual meaning of the name of God. And it's going to be so exciting because Satan's deceptions are going to be completely removed. We're going to see his playbook of how he's going to try to deceive the world. Okay? And what's beautiful about this is we don't have to guess. We don't have to theorize. We can just let the Bible interpret the Bible, and we will know definitively the name of God. And we're going to see that it's at the heart of the gospel. It's the covenant of God. It's actually God's character that we're going to see unfold in the name of God. Okay? And we're also going to see that the mark of the beast, the name and number of the beast, is an attack on the gospel. It's an attack on the Holy Covenant. It's an attack on God's character. And so once we get there, this will be very easy to explain, and you will see exactly what this means. So I just point this out to say names matter.